They're in motion. Here they come. They're off and trotting. VJ's Viceroy is fast. Is going to go on and mix it up. Village Beretta along the inside. Glory's Comet will slide in from fourth. Then it's back to Turnpike Token. And Wild Turkey is sixth and last away. Corncob Conk, Village Beretta. VJ's Viceroy up on the outside third. Glory's Comet racing in from fourth. Two more lengths to Turnpike Token from fifth. And Wild Turkey content to be the trailer into the first turn. Corncob Conk and Mike Saftig lead it 27-1. Village Beretta pushing through, insisting on getting the pocket journey. Landing in the three hole around that first turn was Glory's Comet by getting down to the pylons early and driving through, and that's Village Beretta sitting in the pocket. The leader by 2 lengths on the way to the half is Corncob Conk, then Glory's Comet just off the speed from third, and VJ's Viceroy battled early but settled away in fourth. Here comes Turnpike Token, first out from fifth at this stage. Wild Turkey hoping for flow, isn't going to get it. Turnpike Token went back in, is half in and half out, indecisive at that moment. 56-4 passing the half. There goes Turnpike Token first up now. The leader, though, all the way to the final turn is Corncob Conk. Village Beretta taking the two-hole journey. Glory's Comet to the inside third, and Turnpike Token is on the uncovered first over advance. Then it's back to VJ's Viceroy, and still Wild Turkey would need the sweep from second over and trailing sixth on the outside. Corncob Conk owns the first 3 quarters, and Saftig lets him out a notch. He's going to try to get some ground on the field off 3 quarters. 126-3. Stole a good breather of 29-4 in the third. Corncob Conk is trying to go the route. He's got 3 lengths on Village Beretta. Turnpike Token up on the outside. Wild Turkey farthest on the outside. Here comes VJ's Viceroy in on the pylons. Corncob Conk is going gate to wire. VJ's Viceroy is off stride. Corncob Conk goes the route to win the free-for-all. Up for second, Turnpike Token. Then Glory's Comet and VJ's Viceroy off stride. 155-1. It was Corncob Conk all the way in the fourth. The inquiry sign posted in the stretch drive of the fourth race. Please hold all tickets. The inquiry sign was posted. From Woodbine, Ontario Sire Stakes, 2-year-old colt gelding pace gold final. They're off and pacing. Coming out hard as expected is Warwee Caesar. Going to sprint with him, Armbro Vagarius. Rocket Launch is leaving, so is Silent Dex. Mickey's Rocket joins the top 5 on the extreme outside. Minto Fame is taken in from 6. Daylon Tycoon is trying to cross over from 7th. I'm a Big Boy Now is 3rd from last. Then Rickard's Ed and Quality Cam is left in 10th. Armbro Vagarius and Gassian push through for the lead. Silent Dex took in from 2nd. Racing in 3rd is Rocket Launch, hung to the outside. Warwee Caesar is parked out at the flank of Minnow Fame in 26-1. Armbro Vagarius taking no prisoners and opening 2 lengths into the backstretch. Silent Dex racing along in 2nd. Rocket Launch sits in a snug 3rd, now is brought to the outside and is up on the attack on the way to the half. 2 more lengths to Minnow Fame from 4th. Warwee Caesar up and moving again from 5th. 6th on the outside is Daylon Tycoon. Mickey's Rocket now 7th. I'm a Big Boy Now is 8th on the inside to the flank of Rickard's Ed, and 3 more to Quality Cam trailing. Rocket Launch briefly in front. Warwee Caesar is driving past him. 56 seconds was the half. Warwee Caesar could not get past so easily. Rocket Launch hangs him out into the final turn. Armbro Vagarius is right there in 3rd, closing up pocket position. Daylon Tycoon gapped out a bit, a 2nd over 4th. Rickard's Ed is 3rd over from 5th. Silent Dex waits to spring from 6th on the inside. I'm a Big Boy Now is looking 3 high from 7th. Minnow Fame a non-factor 8th. Mickey's Rocket is 9th. Quality Cam was 10th. They turned for home and they haven't reached Rocket Launch yet. Warwee Caesar battled him long and hard. Armbro Vagarius tipped out for the drive. Rickard's Edge shown the center of the track. 125-1. They passed 3 quarters. Fanning out 4 wide, and Silent Dex is blocked. That's Rocket Launch digging in and hanging on, but Rickard's Ed is trying to time it up on the outside, and Rickard's Ed takes home the gold over Warwee Caesar, Rocket Launch, and Armbro Vagarius. Silent Dex was 5th. Rickard's Ed and Zeron get it in 154. in the second leg of the year 2000 Town Pro Series. Here they come. They're off and pacing. Strong start from Matter of Style. Leia Lee on the outside. Darting out in the center came Kendall Scarlett to go directly to the front. Dusty Courtney is out into the top four. Only the Best is caught to the outside in fifth. Christie's Magic taken in from sixth. Cherish the Memory occupies seventh along the inside. Last Night is eighth. Armbro T is ninth and last away. Kendall Scarlett and Dan O'Brien went to the front, looking to get in second and clearing into the pocket. That was Leia Lee. Matter of Style still up and driving third. Sitting in the four hole is Dusty Courtney. The quarter was up in 27 and 3. Kendall Scarlett, the first turn leader. Matter of Style is up and at it at the leader. Couldn't get into a hole, and she's challenging second on the outside after 3/8 of the mile. Leia Lee is under a tight rein in the pocket from third and going on to take over the lead. Matter of Style. Now closing a 3-length gap is Dusty Courtney from fourth. Only the Best sitting in from fifth. Christie's Magic is sixth. Here comes Last Night, seventh on the outside. Then Cherish the Memory and Armbro T trailed off a half in 56 and 3/5, and the new leader into the final turn after parking a long way was Matter of Style. Up and driving at her is Leia Lee. Kendall Scarlett is back in third. Moved fourth on the outside was Dusty Courtney. Only the Best is sat at chilly fifth and is 4 lengths off the lead. Now on the final turn. On her cover is Christie's Magic from sixth. That's Cherish the Memory staying in from seventh. Last Night is eighth. Armbro T is ninth. They move over to head stretch. Fanning out 3 wide. Here comes Dusty Courtney out around Leia Lee and Matter of Style off 3/4 at 126 and 3. They're in the stretch. In the first division, second leg of the Town Pro Series, Matter of Style in the center. Only the Best. Chris Tafaro is sitting absolutely motionless in the sulky, and Only the Best must be the best. That's Only the Best coming to the wire to win it 3/4 of a length. Tight for the place. Dusty Courtney against Christie's Magic. It was Only the Best in 155 and 2. Seventh race is the second division in the second leg, year 2000 Town Pro Series. They're off and pacing. Ladies, the President has a peak to be one of the fastest away. Star Student is going to be emerging with her. Notepad along the inside, some turn of early foot. Far outside, Armbro Ticket is going to join the top four, first time under the wire. And Hustler is along the inside, leaving in fifth with Oro, 6 back to the first turn. And Ken A. Diamonds is seventh. Kristen, eighth on the outside, ahead of Noble Contessa. Southwind Mezzolina back there in 10th. Ladies, the President briefly to the top. Star Student driving. Armbro Ticket is still coming on the outside to go to the top. Quarter was 26 and 3. Armbro Ticket and Roger Mayotte drive to the lead. Star Student is now back in second. Ladies and President looks at them from third. And on the inside fourth by 2 more lengths is Notepad on the way to the half. Surging up first over came Oro, but forced 3 wide. Out around Hustler, who came out of the hole, and Randall Waples is in a wrestling match with that one. Moving on the outside from seventh was Kristen up into the flow, and the last 3, Noble Contessa, Ken A. Diamonds, and Southwind Mezzolina. Speed battle as Oro drives to the top ahead of Armbro Ticket, 55 and 4. Oro, the new leader. Hustler is caught first over and is driving at Oro into the final turn. Armbro Ticket is now back in the box, and in the second over slot, Kristen is up into the race into tight contention. That's Star Student on the inside from fifth. Noble Contessa sweeping up sixth on the outside. Ladies of President took a steady inside shuffle back to seventh. Southwind Mezzolina winding up from eighth, and the last pair are Notepad and Ken A. Diamonds swinging wide from 10th. They turn for home off 3/4, 125 and 1, chasing Oro. It's Oro into the stretch, trying to close it out in the second division, second leg of the Town Pro Series. Oro through the stretch. Star Student along the inside. Noble Contessa on the outside. Ladies of President blocked. Oro comes to the wire to win this by 2. Star Student was second. Finishing third, Noble Contessa, Armbro Ticket fourth. Oro the winner, 154 and 2. The 8th from Woodbine. Mares open field. Here they come. They're off and pacing with Odie's Fame and Ardor Chimes gapped out at the start. Galleria is driving to the top. Oohs and Ahs is coming out with her. Now Odie's Fame drives through along the inside with Spring Wind, and Sudden Attack emerges into the top 5. Taking a seat in 6 was Fancy Table. Then Sure by 5, Paula Sealster, and Ardor Chimes is the early trailer. Odie's Fame carrying Galleria. They're going a lot into the first turn. Odie's Fame drives through. Galleria goes with her. Diving in from 3rd with Spring Wind, and Oohs and Ahs settled away early in 4th. Galleria midway around the first turn and over the tunnel, but she finally clears. 26 and 2, the opening quarter. That's Galleria in front into the Woodbine backstretch. Odie's Fame is back in 2nd. Spring Wind now sitting in 3rd by 2 more lengths, and Oohs and Ahs dived in early from 4th and saw all of that early speed develop. Trying to flush cover is Sudden Attack. She's brought to the outside from 5th and going to get covered up by Oohs and Ahs. Moving 6th on the outside was Fancy Table. And the last 3, Sure by 5, Paula Sealster, and trailing Ardor Chimes. Galleria got the half in 55 and 2, and coming first over, this is Oohs and Ahs into the final 3/8. Galleria the inside. Oohs and Ahs is coming to call. Oohs and Ahs hoping for a top 2 finish to become harness racing's newest millionaire. And on the final turn, right there in 3rd is Odie's Fame. Sudden Attack alive second over from 4th. Spring Wind is 5th. Fancy Table 6th on the outside. And then it's back to Sure by 5, Paula Sealster, and Ardor Chimes. Galleria. Oohs and Ahs has poked ahead in front of her. Off 3/4 in 1:24 and 4. Oohs and Ahs takes over down the lane by Arjan and Oohs and Ahs. Galleria is a beaten 2nd. Then Sudden Attack, and on the far outside is Fancy Table. Oohs and Ahs earns her millionaire status. She won the Mares Open a length and a quarter. Running down the favored Galleria, finishing 2nd, Fancy Table. Nice moment for Oohs and Ahs in 1:51 and 4. Field of 10, moving through the stretch. And here they come. They're off and pacing with Comic Genius on a break as the gate got away. There goes Wawatasi and Dave Wall up in search of the early lead. Rombo is emerging well. Rocket along the inside will be racing from 3rd. Nice Destiny settled in 4th. Tom Hill takes in from 5th. Cashman is 6th away. Maggie's Run is left in 7th. Just Like Tony is 8th. Time Marches On is marching into line from 9th. And Comic Genius is the gapped out trailer who made a standstill break at the gate. Into the first turn, Wawatasi put up top by 2 in 27 and 2. Rambo racing along in 2nd. Rocket post time favored, measuring the early speed and tightening in a bit from 3rd. There's Nice Destiny, 5 more lengths, lagging off in 4th. Pocket pulling is Rambo on the way to the half. That's Tom Hill racing from 5 back, and Cashman sitting in from 6. Maggie's Run is 7th. 8th on the outside came Just Like Tony. Time Marches On is 9th, and the distance trailer since the outset, Comic Genius. Rambo successful in the move to the top over Wawatasi. Rocket biding his time and stays to the inside 3rd. Here comes the first up attacker. It's Tom Hill. 57 and 1 was the half. They move into the final turn, and Rambo is the leader on Wawatasi. Moving first over is Tom Hill into the last 3/8. Rocket is on the inside from 4th. Cashman in advancing 2nd over 5th. Here comes Just Like Tony up into contention. 6th at the outside. Nice Destiny is 7th. Time Marches On is 8th. Maggie's Run is 9th, and Comic Genius is distanced at the top of the stretch. They haven't reached Rambo yet in 1:26 and 2. 29 and 1. 3rd quarter, that's Rambo into the stretch. From first over was Tom Hill. Cashman up in the center. Wawatasi along the inside. Rocket is 5th, but not making any gain. Rambo. Cashman is driving in for Cristoforu. Here comes Cashman to get the most cash in the 9th. Tom Hill was a first over in great 2nd. Rambo 3rd. Cashman, the 9th race winner, 1:53 and 4. And they're off. From the far outside, it's Tamara's Dream Runner endeavoring to leave. Omar Khayyam comes flying out of there. 4A is first to the lead. Into the top four came Eternal Blast. Rocket JC following in to the flank of Immortal Soul. 7th on the outside is Terry Sealster ahead of Banting, and Bob's Bunny is 9th and last away. 4A on the inside. Omar Khayyam is driving up on the outside. Plugged in for the pocket trip is Eternal Blast. Tamara's Dream Runner landed in 4th. Sitting 5th around the first turn, that's Immortal Soul. Rocket JC is 6th. Moving 3rd from last, Terry Sealster ahead of Banting, and trailing Bob's Bunny. The opening split in 27 and 3. Omar Khayyam Waples hit the front early and open a length and a quarter, but 4A is going to track in from 2nd. Eternal Blast saw all of that unfold from 3rd. Sitting in line 4th is Tamara's Dream Runner on the way to the half. 3 more lengths and Immortal Soul is off the speed from 5th. Rocket JC starting up 6th on the outside. Terry Sealster is 7th. Bob's Bunny is 8th out. And trailing is Banting, 56 and 2 the half, 28 and 4 second quarter. Omar Khayyam going a hot pace. 4A tracks in from 2nd into the final turn. Eternal Blast getting some taps from Doug Brown to keep up in 3rd. Here comes Tamara's Dream Runner to the outside from 4th. Rocket JC moves to 2nd over 5th on the final turn. Immortal Soul is 6. 7 on the outside for Terry Sealster, then Bob's Bunny, and trailing at head stretch is Banting. They haven't reached Omar Khayyam. He's got 8 rivals well in behind him by 3 lengths off 3 quarters. 125 and 3. Moderate third of 29 and 1/5. That's Omar Khayyam into the final 8th with a big lead. Omar Khayyam, 4A retaking 2nd. Then Tamara's Dream Runner. Terry Sealster on the outside hits 4th. Omar Khayyam is long gone on this field. That's Omar Khayyam all alone to win it by 4. 4A stayed for 2nd on the outside. 3rd Terry Sealster. Omar Khayyam in 153 and 2. Race is in motion, and here they come. They're off and pacing. Come out running, had a flying start from the outside. It's Queen from Omaha going to be emerging out of there. Blue Spock is leaving along the inside. Come out running, and Blue Spock in the first turn sprint. On the inside 3rd, that's Come On Get Happy taking a seat, and Sass Newton will lay off the speed to sit in from 4th. Racing back in 5th is Gone Dancing into the first turn. Queen from Omaha was taken in ran to race from 6th. Then Marathon Maxi is 7th. Dexter's Bouquet is 8th. GG Gourmet is 9th. One more back there in 10th is Armbro Snapshot, 27 and 3. Come out running, hit the front. Blue Spock is pulling on her around the first turn. Blue Spock driving to the top. Come out running is going to yield the lead and sit in from 2nd. Come On Get Happy racing it off from 3rd. Sass Newton sitting in from 4th. Gone Dancing is 5th on the way to the half. Queen from Omaha 6th inside. Marathon Maxi is 7th. Dexter's Bouquet is 8th. GG Gourmet is 9th. 3 more to Armbro Snapshot in 10th. Blue Spock moving away by 3 lengths off the half in 56 and 1. 28 and 3 second quarter. Blue Spock and Zeron moving well into the final turn. Come out running, tagging in from 2nd. Come On Get Happy is going to have to do it the tough way. Brett Robinson has her up and moving on the outside from 3rd. Sass Newton gapping by 2 more lengths is 4th. Gone Dancing another 2 is on the outside from 5th. Marathon Maxi sitting in from 6th. Queen from Omaha is 7th. Dexter's Bouquet, GG Gourmet, and Armbro Snapshot completed the field. Blue Spock off by 5 on Come Out Running at head stretch. 123 and 4, 27 and 3 in the 3rd quarter. That's Blue Spock through the stretch. Come Out Running is still hanging in there for 2nd. Sass Newton, and on the outside came Gone Dancing. Blue Spock is moving off on the field. Then Gone Dancing picking up 2nd, and Blue Spock is home. That's Blue Spock home to win it by close to 6. Then Gone Dancing alongside Sass Newton. Come Out Running 4th. Appears to be a 1-5-3-6 superfecta, tight for the place. 151 and 2 the 11th Blue Spock.